Alright, so today I'm gonna give y'all an informative speech about Pearl Harbor. My name's Khalil Dixon. Do you know what big event happened December? Do you know what big event happened December 7th, 1941? That morning, Japanese planes covered the sky over Pearl Harbor. Their goal was to destroy the Pacific Fleet, so America could not fight back as Japan spread across the South Pacific. Pearl Harbor was one of the deadliest attacks on U.S. soil. So I don't know why I'm laughing, because it's one of the deadliest attacks on U.S. soil. Today I'm going to tell you what escalated to the attack, what happened the day of the attack, and American casualties during the attack, Japanese casualties during the attack, and how America responded. So this is what escalated to the attack. Japan and China had a conflict. Japanese soldiers invaded North China, trying to expand and take over North China, you know what I'm saying? They were power hungry, they wanted more territory, they wanted more money. And China being an ally to the US, they decided to put sanctions on Japan. And those sanctions had a big impact on Japan at the time. Made Japan broke. They lost access to a lot of oil. People didn't want to do business with them because they're being evil. You know what I'm saying? So keep in mind, this is before World War II. This also led to World War II. All these countries deciding to fight each other. You know what I'm saying? So the U.S. put sanctions on Japan, right? And Japan wanted those sanctions off. You know what I'm saying? They're like, we want this power. They're invading China at the time. They want so much power with China. They're trying to tell U.S. like, you know what I'm saying? How y'all gonna put sanctions on us? We got all this power. So basically, they came up with a plan to pretend to want peace with the U.S. to sneak up on us and catch us by surprise. Because we got a strong military, so that's pretty much the only way you could really beat us. So they wanted to catch us by surprise, so they pretended to want peace. Japan felt that was the only way they could get us to lift the sanctions is by force. So they're trying to catch us by surprise right now, all right? So this is what happened the day of the attack. You know what I'm saying? It was December 7th, 1941. The day of the attack, planes started covering the sky at 8 a.m. Around 5 a.m., it was a Japanese submarine trying to sneak into the harbor solely. I don't know why he would solely try to sneak in, you know what I'm saying? But he did. Probably had screws in his head or something. He tried to sneak into the harbor, and an American submarine shot it down, basically. And it was reported to one of the generals that they shot it down, the submarine. And we were already actually speculating that Japan was trying to strike us, you know what I'm saying? Playing something against us, but we didn't have much proof. So Japan had let off a lot, all these aircraft and stuff, and a lot of submarines, like, probably the night before to make it to the U.S., you know what I'm saying? So it was about 5 a.m. This submarine solely tried to sneak into the harbor. He got shut down. And 8 a.m., all these planes are flying over. So, but they really snuck into America because they kept quiet on their radios. Because back in the day, that was how they really tracked what was going on through radio frequencies. You know what I'm saying? So they were quiet on their radios and snuck into the harbor. And the United States fired the first shot at about 5 a.m. So we got the first shot, boom. Japan sank a ship called the USS Arizona that had more than 1,000 men trapped inside of it, These men never got out. It's some trapped in there to this day. No American aircraft carriers were at Pearl Harbor that day to help this onslaught that was going on. So all the troops were really stuck there. It was some troops, because it was some aircraft carriers there, but it wasn't like our fleet of soldiers, because we sent those soldiers out to Japan, actually, somewhere around Japan and China to help that war that was going on, because we thought they weren't going to come to our territory. We're Americans. We're too confident. So no American aircraft carriers were at Pearl Harbor that day to help. So American casualties were severe, you know. So now I'm going to tell you about the American casualties during the attack. Every battleship in Pearl Harbor sustained significant damage. Every battleship was repaired except the USS Arizona that had the 1,000 men trapped inside, and the USS Utah. 2,400 Americans died in the attack, including those 1,000 men trapped inside. So these men are banging up top, you know what I'm saying? And it's water rising up while they're trapped inside the submarine, you know what I'm saying? They're thinking they're gonna get out because there's people trying to help them get out, you know? So these people are looking at their brothers like, dang, I'm trying to help you, but I can't because it's a fucking submarine. It's a submarine. So 1,000 Americans were wounded and 2,400 Americans died. Japanese casualties during the attack. The Japanese lost 29 of the 353 aircraft that they launched. So they launched 353 aircrafts and lost 29. 129 Japanese soldiers were killed. One Japanese soldier was captured, and he wrote a book. He got famous off of it. He was captured and we let him go because he turned into an informant. So we let him go because we figured he didn't mean no harm. And the Japan Army lost 5 midget submarines. This is how America responded to this onslaught. President Roosevelt asked Congress to declare war the very next day. We weren't having it. And the U.S. decided to bomb Japan's capital. The bombing the capital caused minimal damage, not as much as Pearl Harbor, obviously. And Japanese Americans were forced to leave their homes and live in camps. So we didn't trust anything Japanese at the time because we thought it could have been something that we thought they could have been spies. I mean, Pearl Harbor was big, so at the time we didn't trust anything Japanese, and they're forced to live in camps. Nobody talks about that anymore. I don't know if they even got much coverage back in the day. So today I told you what escalated to the attack, what happened the day of the attack, and American casualties during the attack. I also told you how America responded and the Japanese casualties during the attack. In conclusion, with Pearl Harbor being one of the deadliest, if not the deadliest attack on American soil, the United States had no choice but to retaliate with brute force. Outnumbered and caught by surprise, every American fought for their life at Pearl Harbor and will be remembered for years to come. Yeah.